Yo, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy Erskmac, the mad scientist from the Orange Phoenix Show. Man, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell so you can get notified on all of our content, whether it's advertisements, whether it's live shows or recorded shows. Now, I will give a special shout out to some of these people in the ticker below because of your comments and because of your likes and because of your subscriptions, yes, we are covering more Impact Wrestling content. And I will be the first to tell you that it's been some years since I watched TNA. And when the TNA moniker was done away with and it's Impact Wrestling, I just lost interest, to be completely honest with you. But since the most recent announcement that TNA is coming back as of 2024 with this moniker TNA Wrestling, I now have a vested interest. And because of you guys and because you guys love, yes, we will be covering more Impact Wrestling. Now, with that being said, where do I start? So what I've done, I subscribe to TNA Wrestling, or Impact Wrestling, as it now called until January. Wait. I started this week with Impact Wrestling because I have to start from the bottom. I got to start from the bottom up, man. I'm not gonna pretend like I am a super expert in Impact Wrestling because I watch AEW, I watch WWE, but since I've watched the Thursday's edition of Impact Wrestling, I really am interested. I do like the atmosphere that it has, especially the mat. The mat itself have all these advertisements on it. It felt like Bellator. Like it felt like some MMA type stuff. So what I'm going to do is cover each and every match of this week's Impact Wrestling because I am very much interested, especially interested in next week. Well, you got Will Ospreay coming next week in his match against Josh Alexander, man. I cannot wait for that. But check this out. We have Tasha Steelz versus the virtuoso Deonna Purrazzo. Now, I have heard great things about Deonna Purrazzo, her programs with Mickie James and such, and I have seen Tasha Steelz on Twitter because I follow her on Twitter, and I've seen their match. And I will tell you, it is a very good match, man. I was emotionally invested there because of what the commentators were saying, that they have a friendship, and because of what happened in the previous week where Deonna Purrazzo got accidentally kicked in the face, this caused this match to come about. Now, if I have to critique anything, I would say they spent a little bit too much time appreciating each other's moves, but they was playing towards the fans. So I watched TNA with a different set of eyes. I'm not going to look at Impact like I look at WWE. I'm not going to look at Impact like I do AEW, because one thing's for certain is that the TNA roster from yesteryear was the women's revolution, like I said in my previous video. So again, watching Tasha Steelz and Deonna Purrazzo, they were given time to tell a story. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe 15 minutes or so, and it opened the show, which I really did appreciate. I really did appreciate Tasha Steelz and Deonna Purrazzo. Tasha Steelz comes out as the victor. Now, there have been some rumors circling around that Deonna Purrazzo's contract ends at the end of the year. Hopefully, they will re-sign her because she's been one of the staples in Impact Wrestling from what I understood. So, Tasha Steelz being a former Impact Women's Champion and Deonna Purrazzo being a former 3-time, if I'm not mistaken, Impact Wrestling Champion. And she came up a little short once again against Trinity, because Trinity is now 3-0 against Deonna Purrazzo. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Don't crucify me quite yet because I am covering this content for the first time, so just bear with me. But yeah, Tasha Steelz and Deonna Purrazzo, very good match. I really did enjoy that. And jumping on to Tommy Dreamer versus Crazy Steve. So Tommy Dreamer is the social media champion for Impact Wrestling, and it's nice to see Tommy Dreamer, in the ring still doing his thing and placating to the crowd. That this man is someone you can learn from in the ring, learn how to tell a story. You don't have to do moves for the sake of moves and stuff like that. Everything he done in the ring has some sort of purpose. Everything Crazy Steve did in the ring was for a purpose. And for what I understood from my first time watching this, they have this feud going on, and this feud is not over with. And I'm interested to see what is going to happen in the future with Tommy Dreamer as a social media champion. So I'm cool with that. And the next match up was Joe Hendry. Now, when I saw Joe Hendry, right, I see the crowd like you know, I believe in Joe Hendry and stuff like that. I really see this man as a heel versus a babyface. I don't know what it is. I really do see him as a heel. I see him as this obnoxious character. He kind of reminds me of Bo Dallas in a way, you know, like Bo Leave. So I kind of see that. And his match with Brian Myers, with him calling Brian Myers Adam's bitch, you know, stuff like that. It was a very good match. Joe Hendry is a great worker in the ring. So is Brian Myers. So I do like the opportunity that has been set out for these guys. But I really do see Joe Hendry as a heel. Like, maybe a major heel turn will come. And maybe he started out as a heel. Again, this is my first time watching Impact Wrestling in many years in its entirety. So just bear with me on that one. But Joe Hendry, definitely a heel. I could see him being like one of the top heels in Impact Wrestling, soon to be TNA. Going on to Eddie Edwards and Eric Young. Man, it's so great to see Eric Young because I feel like NXT or WWE fumbled the bag with Eric Young because of what he's done with TNA. Like, I have followed Eric Young from the early TNA days, and you know, from the serious segments to the funny segments he had with ODB, and jumping him over to NXT. Like, he had a good group of people with Nikki Cross and others, and I feel like WWE really did fumble the bag. So it's nice to see him come back home to Impact Wrestling, and I know it is a great possibility that he may retire at TNA. So it was nice to see him and Eddie Edwards. Now, I am familiar with Eddie Edwards, and I know he had a program with Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay came out as the victor, but Eric Young comes out on top. So did Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry comes out on... No, actually, Joe Hendry didn't. I want to say Brian Myers actually came out on top on this one, and Eric Young came out on top of Eddie Edwards. But this is a very good match. Eric Young still moves well in the ring. I was thoroughly impressed. I was invested in the matches itself. Not much in the promos because I was taking it one step at a time. But from bell to bell, from the first match up until this one, I really was invested. And it was nice to see Fandango or Dirty Dango and Proteus going against some homegrown talent as far as in Chicago is concerned. So to see Dirty Dango in the ring and, you know, placating to his character and let Proteus do the work. But still yet, I really did enjoy both of these matches with Eric Young coming out on top. Dirty Dango and Proteus comes out on top, but just basically to showcase Proteus's abilities and Proteus's power. Now, the next thing that was interesting to me was Jordynne Grace and Bully Ray. It seemed like Jordynne Grace and Bully have some type of relationship, not romantically, but some type of level of respect. And then you got Killing King, and I forgot the guy's name. Y'all please forgive me for that. But it's going to be a mixed tag match next week. And I am very much interested in Jordynne Grace. I really want to see what she does in the ring. A lot of people have been telling me, son, you are in for a treat to see Jordynne Grace in the ring. So I cannot wait to see that. It seems like next week's Impact is going to be even bigger than this week's, just because of what's going to happen or what matches that we are going to see. But I did like that little segment between the two. Like, Bully Ray, he commands the camera. Like, you got to be on your A game to be on camera with Bully Ray. Like, to do a promo with Bully Ray, because he's going to be straight shooter. He's going to shoot straight to the point. You just got to be hard focused, man. It's just what it is. Like, Bully Ray is always in rare form. I feel like the best of Bully Ray is in TNA with the Aces and Aces. So to see him on Impact Television, that's awesome to see. And I cannot wait to see Jordynne Grace, man. I cannot wait. Now, since I am subscribed to Impact Wrestling on YouTube, if you are not subscribed to Impact Wrestling on YouTube, I strongly suggest that you do. That way you can look at all the past stuff, like all the previous matches, that when it was TNA, when it was just Impact Wrestling. And I'm going to definitely do some more research on Jordynne Grace. Now, the main event, the thing that is surprising to me is Alex Shelley of the Motor City Machine Guns, one half of the Motor City Machine Guns. And he is currently your Impact Wrestling's World Heavyweight Champion. And he goes up against one of my favorites, Jonathan Gresham. Now, the octopus, if you will, man. Jonathan Gresham, I feel like AEW fumbled the bag with Jonathan Gresham. I mean, this dude is a man's man. This dude is a straight, pure wrestler, and I feel like you could have done something with him as a character on AEW television, and I feel like that bag has been fumbled. But he's on TNA Impact, and he goes up against Alex Shelley, and this Jonathan Gresham is a little different. He said he want to bring some purity, you know, a fair fight between one man and another for the Impact World Championship. And once he wins the World Championship, he's going to bring some dignity and class to the World Heavyweight Championship. But during the match, he's doing a little, shady stuff, which I do like that, because I feel like Jonathan Gresham character can get fleshed out. Hey guys, I know you all are enjoying the show, but check it out. I have to let you know, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell, because if you hit that notification bell, you definitely get notified on anything that we do, whether it's live or recorded. And do not forget to hit that like button. Please hit that like button, because the more likes we get, the more views we get. The more views we get, the more subscribers we get, and our community continue to grow, so we can continue to have these conversations with each other and you guys. And also, whatever we do not cover in our YouTube channel, we definitely cover in our Orange Phoenix magazine. Our Orange Phoenix magazine is an online digital monthly magazine that's on our Patreon for only $5 a month. That's it. $5 a month. It's in the description below. Just click on that link, and without any further ado, we're gonna go right back into our show. A lot more. And again, I keep saying this, but AEW definitely from the bag with Jonathan Gresham, because this dude is definitely world champion caliber type of talent. That's just what it is. And since TNA is coming back and TNA is back, I feel like this is the perfect opportunity. But Jonathan Gresham did come up short. I think the match itself, totality wise, is maybe 20 minutes, 23 minutes, and they put on a clinic. Other thing that surprised me was Alex Shelley. And Alex Shelley is this fighting champion, and for what I understood from his promos is that people was counting him out. Like, people was telling him he was going to drop the title to this person, he's going to drop the title to this person, but somehow, some way, he comes out with the dub. And with the main event for Thursday, he comes out with this dub against Jonathan Gresham, one of the best to ever do it, like a former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. And if I understood correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, he was a former Pure Champion as well. So to see him in an Impact Wrestling ring, it says a lot. I do want a lot of success in Impact Wrestling whenever it becomes TNA. I did hear rumors that there are going to be changes made to TNA for the positive, and for Hard to Kill to be in Vegas, that says everything that needs to be said. I had this idea for pro wrestling as a whole. I already know WWE is not going to do this, but I know Impact Wrestling, AEW, Stardom, Noah, Ring of Honor. How about this? Here's my proposal. You know how we have the World Cup for soccer, right? The greatest sport in the world, period. The biggest sport in the world is soccer. That's no question about that. All right. I am an NFL, nerd, but I know that's just for us nationally. You know what I'm saying? But for soccer, it's the World Cup. Why don't we have a World Cup of pro wrestling, man? Minus the WWE, because they're never going to sign off on it, but the best of the best. And I'm talking about, find yourself a venue, like a big venue, maybe overseas, internationally, maybe at Wembley Stadium. Maybe at Wembley Stadium. Not just one night, though. Not just one night. Just have maybe 4 days of just like a tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me rewind. I'm gonna rewind a little bit. The smaller stadiums, right, have like the preliminary tournament with women and men, tag teams included, right? And then your final 2 nights is at Wembley Stadium in London. You get your best tag team in the world. You get your best women's wrestler in the world. You get your best single men's wrestler in the world, whether it's for a certain title or not, just for respect, man. It's like a dream matches of dream matches. You know what I'm saying? Like a plethora of dream matches. Everybody signs in, like everybody profits off of that. But you don't do it every year. You do it every 2 to 3 years. How about that? Like that right there is a dream come true for a pro wrestling fan. I think that would be an awesome thing to see. Awesome thing to see. But overall, I really did enjoy Impact Wrestling as a whole. I cannot wait to see what Impact Wrestling does in the future. Yes, I will be covering Impact Wrestling every single week. Okay? Every single week, every single show, I will be covering Impact Wrestling. Thanks to you guys that commented and liked and subscribed. Now, let's talk about the AEW Women's roster. All right? I noticed some positive changes that's been made. I noticed some matches are a little bit longer. But AEW, you need to do a little bit more than what you're doing. You need to flesh out some stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, give it the same amount of energy that you do the men. And I know it's steady progress. Steady progress. I get that. And a lot of people was in an uproar about Mariah May and how she was introduced. Like, she was just a backstage new signee. But understand something. For a casual fan, no one knows who Mariah May is. You know? But for a pure wrestling fan, a wrestling fan that watches every single thing, that eats, sleeps, and breathes wrestling, that subscribes to Stardom and watches every women's match, they know who Mariah May is. Like, they know that she is an ace. You understand? Like, they know that Julia is an ace. And I know there was some rumors circling about Julia being at a performance center, which is not true, by the way. She is still on the contract. So don't go crazy out here for the internet nerds, the IWC out there, especially those Twitter people that really loves to hate on AEW or really loves to hate on any other wrestling company besides the WWE. Cool your jets. Chill out. All right. Julia has not signed with anyone yet. She's still with the company that she's with. Just relax. For the people that was in an uproar about Mariah May, no one really knows who she is. So for her to be in a program with Toni Storm just fleshes her out even more. It's no disrespect to Mariah May, because I know who Mariah May is, and some of you guys know who Mariah May is, but you will see what she's able to do in due time. But I will tell AEW this: NXT, WWE, they know how to create stars. Look what they've done with Jade. Jade hasn't wrestled a single match, but they are advertising her to the best of their ability. You could have done something a little bit better with Mariah May. You could have done some kind of vignette. Also, you could have done some kind of vignette with Red Velvet, you know, instead of just having her thrown into a match. You know what I'm saying? So I think you need to treat your women's roster 10 times better than what you're already doing. I know you're consistently getting better. And yeah, just a little critique. I am an AEW lover, okay? I love AEW. I love what they do. I just want them to be better when it comes to the women's roster, because they have top tier talent on that women's roster, and you could do a lot of things with this women's roster, and just a little bit more. How about this? Give me 2 women's matches per show, 2, and give them time. 2 women's matches per show, and also if for TK, if it's hard to actually just write stories out for the men and the women, just divvy it out, like split it up with someone else. Let them write the stories. Better yet, let the women write the stories out. Let them tell their own stories. Like, let them do what they do. I'm not behind the scenes. I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what's going on. It's just suggestions from a fan to you. But that AEW women's locker room is top tier, man. Top tier. And let them showcase that they are top tier. Hikaru Shida, Toni Storm, Ruby Soho, you know, soon to be Mercedes Moné, Mariah May, Nyla Rose. You know, Serena Deeb, just saying. Athena, yeah, just saying. Chris Statlander, Willow, Sky Blue, Julia Hart, man, Julia Hart. I can't express enough how much Julia Hart is such a phenomenal talent. Like, she is continuously growing. She is a superstar in the making. But I would say, do vignettes, to flesh out a story, do whatever you can for the AEW women's roster, because they rightfully deserve it, man. I like that Doja Cat music video, man. And look, advertise that the best of your ability. Put that all over social media. Put that all over TV. Put that everywhere you can. Hell, have Doja Cat Advertise that thing. Do whatever you got to do. But that's all my show for today. Again, I do apologize because I know it's been 2 weeks old since our last video. I had a lot of things going on personally. Had some death in the family twice, so I was dealing with that. But I do apologize for that, because typically we are consistent with our videos. But we are back. We are back. Had to handle some personal family issues, but we are back in effect. Myself and Vivo, every single week we will be covering Impact Wrestling. We will be doing that. I will definitely give Impact Wrestling its love. So I will be talking about AEW, but to a lesser extent. It's going to be more Impact. Impact's going to be on top. Impact Wrestling is going to need that type of exposure, and I am more than happy to give Impact Wrestling that type of exposure. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Shout out to all the veterans that have served, that are currently serving, such as myself as well. Hope you guys eat to your heart's content come Saturday. You understand? So until next time, y'all, peace.